Welcome back to the StarX podcast, where we're solving for sci-fi. My name is Mike.
My name is Jenae.
And right now, X equals...
Gate.
Nice. Channeling your inner Mariah. So this is a sci-fi rewatch podcast where we are working our way through Stargate SG-1. This episode is episode 11 called Bloodlines, and it aired on October 10th, 1997, directed by Mario Azzopardi, written by Mark Saraceni and Jeff King. And of course, Roland and Dean for character credits. I don't even know if I said that in the last one, but anyway, they're always there, so it's all good. Guest cast. So we've got Sally Richardson Whitfield as Teal'c, and she's also well known in the sci-fi universe for Eureka. Yeah.
Good show.
She's good. She's good in that. She's good in this. And, apparently she only wanted to do this once. She wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe because she got into
She could have been with Eureka. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she got too busy on that at the time.
Although that would have been a little bit later. It would have been in like the 2000s.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, the wife, Teal'c doesn't really come back for a little while. So maybe that was why.
Yeah.
It's
a while later.
like
yeah.
seasons.
And that's the only other time you see Teal'c's wife.
Did she only come back one other time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah. So she plays his wife in this incarnation. And so we got Neil Dennis as Ryak. Bob Wilde is a priest. Wow, that guy's got quite this. Sean Stewart, he's also a priest.
I don't think you have to do priest 1,
yeah,
priest 2,
no,
Jaffa
I mean
guard
probably
1,
the most
Jaffa
important,
guard 3.
the most important guest.
We just
cast.
need Ryak, and then Braytac, who is played by Tony Amendola.
I was just getting to him.
And then, of course, we have Terrell Rothery, who's Dr. Janet Fraser, who we love.
We do. But what I was going to say is he was probably the most important guest cast. I was going to round up with him at the end because he's...
Who, guard number 2?
No, Master Braytac. Smarta. Yeah, you're so funny. Hilarious. Anyway, so Tony Amendola. He's in this. He's cool. He's a good character. This
is his first time showing
time
up, and
Master
he shows
Braytac.
up a lot. So he is a good character. I would say he's kind of like a Dr. Fraser, kind of comes in a lot more, almost like a main character.
He's definitely, because he's not in every single episode,
yeah.
but he is like a major
I think they're a little more than like guest cast,
Oh, well,
especially those two.
He's probably on the same level as probably even like as Don Davis even though he's like technically
Hammond,
a regular.
General Hammond.
Yeah, General Hammond or Dr. Fraser. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
He's a big character.
Yeah.
At least later on, he really becomes a big character.
Yeah, he totally does. He's a great character.
Yeah. He's cool, and he's just cool. He always plays that role so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, this guy's cool. So anyway, that's our guest cast. So what were your initial thoughts on this one?
This one, so whenever I see that it's going to be like a Teal'c Jaffa episode, we both think that it's not our favorite.
Don't drag me to this.
Oh, I'm dragging.
No.
They're a little, I mean, they're good, but a lot of them are kind of more boring, kind of just like, okay, let's just kind of move on from this. But this one was good. This one, I laughed out loud quite a few times. I think it's a good, you don't even know that Teal'c has a son and wife. So you find all that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
So I agree with you completely, except for the fact that I don't really consider this like one of those.
No, I know. I don't either. But I'm just saying, like, when you see the heading, and we've watched them so many times that it's kind of like when you see, like, oh, it's going to be a Jaffa episode. All right. We'll get through it.
Yeah, they're yeah,
They're just
not,
a little. They're just not as exciting.
Sometimes they can be a little bit of a slog.
But some are. Maybe we'll be more surprised this time around.
They're definitely not all bad, but
No.
there's one or two that I generally yeah for sure. But this one though is good though. I did not think I didn't classify this as one of those.
No.
But
and I do like it's like you get more of Teal'c and just how he is and his personality and it's because
cool.
he doesn't get a lot of lines.
It's cool to give him a backstory.
Yeah,
with you're like, oh,
definitely.
He's got a family.
Definitely.
Damn.
And we had to meet Braytak. We love Braytak.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing when you're bringing in like all of this other Jaffa lore that's going to be coming in, especially like all the rebellion stuff that's going to start happening. All that stuff is like really good.
Yeah.
But there's just like a few things that kind of can get a little sloggy in some of those episodes.
Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff is actually pretty cool.
It really is. Yeah. No, I agree with you.
But yeah, I get where you're coming from though.
And Ryak, he does show up a few times too.
Yeah, that kid's got some acting chops.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. He looks so young in this.
Yeah, that was my first. I'm like, wow.
Baby.
Because by the end, he's like
taller than Teal'c.
He's like an adult. Yeah. I mean, it is like 10 years.
10 years,
though.
yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
All right. Well, should we hit the summary?
Yeah,
so my initial thought was I also thought this one was pretty good. I enjoyed it as well. I mean,
we heard you.
we say that on all of these, and you know,
just consensus. They're all good, but yeah, I mean,
and we'll always say, but I think it's good to do these because they're not always going to be home runs.
Yeah, I agree.
Not that this is necessarily a home run, but I think it's pretty good. It's pretty.
Yeah, I think it's good.
All right. So all right.
It's good. We're good. We're good. We all think it's good. Okay.
Yep. We all think it's good
right now.
No, I don't. It's all good. See?
Okay. Now we begin. In this episode of Stargate SG-1, Teal'c wakes from terrifying dreams of his son undergoing the Goa'uld implantation ceremony known as the Primta. And it turns out the nightmare is very real. After an attempt to remove Teal'c's symbiote nearly kills him, SG-1 learns that the Goa'uld larva basically functions as the Jaffa immune system, which is bad news for humanity, but much worse news for Teal'c's family because he finally reveals the secret he's been hiding since joining Earth. He has a wife and a son back on Teal'c.
Yeah.
And now O'Neill's like, we don't trust you anymore.
Well, O'Neill's justifiably, he's pretty pissed because he's kind of like, well, why would you hide that?
Yeah.
And I get why Teal'c did, but at the same time,
he's trying to protect his family and,
Yeah. But
O'Neill's he's always cool though with Teal'c. I feel like he tries to reason with him and talk to him.
For sure.
But yeah, his Jack, I could understand why he'd be kind of like, I've been to bat for you so many times. Why didn't you just tell us this? Well,
and then they get over to the table where they're trying to convince Hammond. At the this all sort of happens. They're trying to convince Hammond that there could be Revel Jaffa that are kind of aligned with Teal'c and that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And they go there, but they're not. They don't come right out and say, but it's because Teal'c has a family. When they're sitting at that table and there's Jack's like, well, how many? Or Hammond's like, well, how many? And he's like, well, we know of one. And they cut to Sam's reaction on that, and it just totally made me laugh.
She's like, yeah, this isn't going to be enough.
We know of one, and he's like,
one?
Come in my office.
Yeah.
So funny.
You're being summoned to the principal's office now.
But yeah, so coming clean and explaining that Teal'c has a family and all that, that's not great.
No, because then it's like O'Neill says, it's like a liability. Because what if needs to go back there and he jeopardizes things and he has to,
totally
save his family or whatever he has to do.
Well, I mean, and it's so. The whole thing is and what it ends up coming down to is then Teal'c decides, well, I'm just going on my own.
Yeah,
He gets all dressed up in his-
I won't get you guys involved.
Yeah.
I'll just go. But apparently they can't do that.
Yeah, and Tam is like, well, no, because you know way too much about this stuff, and like, they'll basically torture it out of you, and I would die before that kind of thing, before I tell anything. And Hammond's like, well, you're gonna die if you just go alone.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm gonna.
But then he's like, but you can't go alone because you know too much.
Well, I know, but then Hammond's like, you die if you went alone, but that's why I'm gonna have you guys all go together. I'm authorizing the mission.
Which is what they originally wanted.
Yeah, I know. See, he's just a big softy.
He is.
But all the bravado and everything.
Wasn't he yelling at them again?
Totally.
Yeah.
He yells at them constantly.
Because like the episode before, he's like totally yelling at them. That's why I just feel like he's been yelling at them a lot lately.
mean, he's got to be like...
They've become a little too lax.
In a way, it's like herding cats. It's kind of like he can't really... It's just like they're just way too easy to just be bending the rules, whenever it suits them. And he's had it.
I'd be like him too. I'd just be like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Gotta yell again at these kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Cue the emotional trust issues. Jack is furious Teal'c kept this hidden. Hammond starts questioning whether their favorite gold-stamped alien warrior has been compromised the whole time, and Teal'c drops the bombshell that his son Ryak is only days away from receiving his first Goa'uld symbiote and becoming enslaved to Apophis forever. Teal'c refuses to let that happen, even if it means walking straight back into enemy territory and probably dying horribly in the process. So naturally, SG-1 immediately volunteers for what may be their most reckless mission yet.
So this is, and I was trying to figure this out, and I don't really have a straight answer because I think they've sort of changed it. But the whole thing of him going to try to save Ryak from being, basically, it sounded to me like they're implanting the Goa'uld in him, which would enslave him to basically be a servant to the Goa'ulds by that. But at the same time, it also sounds like once they hit puberty, their immune system stopped working, so they have to have a Goa'uld anyway. So I couldn't really understand, like, well, what would you do if you don't give him a Goa'uld? Like, you know what I mean? Like Ryak, like that's the thing and I think that kind of shows up in the plot hole goofs in the end, but I couldn't really get, and I actually got on Reddit and I was like looking for what other people thought, and people were like, yeah, it sounds like they kind of changed it down the road.
We've noticed that on a few things.
Yeah, but it sounded like because it almost sounds like in the beginning, well, you gotta like, if he doesn't get a Goa'uld, as long as he doesn't go through the ceremony, like he would be fine.
Then he'll be fine.
But he already has like the Goa'uld pouch on his stomach. So anyway, so
you're getting ahead of us here.
Yeah, I am. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah. But they have changed a few things like that.
Yeah.
And it's the first season.
Right.
They're,
So,
not many people are going to notice it.
Right. And I wondered how they got those priest outfits.
Well, I'm assuming just Teal'c told them and they
How to
made
make
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure they have a costume department.
Yeah.
In the SGC.
All right.
This is what we're thinking.
Okay. So go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, do you want me to go on?
Yeah, unless there's something else you wanted to say.
Well, you had another mark here. Daniel licks his hand.
Oh, well, when they go in there.
Oh, and they get through the gate, they've got their priest disguises on, and then they go to a bush to hide all of their priest disguises and their wipe and their stuff on. And it's just funny, right at the end there, Daniel like licks his hand and like touches his forehead.
Like washing the stuff off his forehead with his spit.
I don't know, it just struck me funny.
Yeah. It is pretty
And then
funny.
Sam's like, hand me your stuff, like she's the mom. Like, give me your stuff. I'm going to put it here in the bush.
I know, it kind of was like that.
Like it should have been like her going, licking her palm and like wiping
What if she'd done that? That would have been
That would have been
hilarious.
great.
You got a little something.
Yeah. Now give me your stuff. Okay, yeah. That struck me funny.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Disguised as Jaffa priests, the team sneaks back onto Teal'c, where Teal'c discovers his former home has been burned to the ground and marked as the home of Sholva, a traitor. Thankfully, they're intercepted by Braytak, Teal'c's legendary former mentor and easily the coolest 133-year-old man in 2 galaxies. Braytak spends most of the episode alternating between wise spiritual warrior and grumpy alien grandpa, including immediately trying to fistfight Jack because he called Daniel a hasshak. Jack, meanwhile, spends the whole episode entirely on sarcasm and confusion. So true.
Hasshak. I think it's hasshak.
Is it hasshak?
Hasshak,
Okay,
yeah.
hasshak.
So when like
This episode was funny.
yeah, when they get to Teal'c's house, it seemed pretty like it was all burnt down and just rubble, but it seemed pretty small for like the first prime of Apophis, you know?
Yeah, like,
to like
it really did.
Like it seemed like like our shed that we put our lawnmower in.
Yeah, it seemed like
know?
pretty small. And the sets on this episode, and I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit later, just weren't great.
Yeah, well, we can. Yeah,
We'll get into it later.
Yeah,
okay,
we'll,
okay.
especially that. We'll get to it.
But yeah, it was small.
Yeah,
especially for a big guy like Teal'c, and like you said, like being the first prime.
Yeah,
of like this was a gift.
Yeah, gift from Apophis and some crappy.
And Teal'c had
shed.
to pull out his, or Christopher Judge had to pull out some of that drama, those acting chops there when he's kneeling on the ground and he's crying, and I think it's funny because I think we're all like, what's he crying at? And then they all kind of come around and like Daniel's like, I don't recognize this. What is this?
Well, what did
Teal'c's like crying?
What did you expect to happen? What did he think was going to happen? I mean, it's obvious that he's considered a traitor to
they're not just going to leave your family alone.
Yeah, like I don't know. The whole thing just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, duh.
Exactly.
Duh.
I thought that too.
Like, I mean,
like what did you expect?
But like when Braytak finally shows up and he's talking to him and stuff, Sam is like so friendly. She's like introducing, they're like, and she's like, and then she's like, hey, because he's kind of just being
the best
woman.
Even before that, Teal'c is like introducing them and introducing Sam and like these great. She's a great warrior and blah blah blah. And she's like, like she's like,
I know.
And then she gets cut. Like she's like, oh, I better shut up,
And then he's just like a human woman, blah blah blah. And she's like, hey,
yeah, like hey, I've been nothing but nice to you.
It's so funny.
I love it. I've really been noticing her reactions lately.
Yeah, I know.
More so than other times we've watched. Even though I've always loved her, but she's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's
funnier than I remember.
It's very subtle.
Yeah, very subtle.
Like,
yeah.
So
yeah, that was good. Yeah. Okay, so the mission quickly becomes far more personal when they find Teal'c's wife, Dreyok, and discover she's been struggling to survive in exile while trying to convince everyone her husband died honorably instead of betraying the gods. She is not thrilled to see him. From her perspective, Teal'c abandoned his family, destroyed their lives, and came back with new friends wearing bathrobes and bad fake beards. Meanwhile, Ryak has become critically ill because without a Goa'uld symbiote, young Jaffa basically don't have functioning immune systems. So Teal'c is now trapped in an impossible choice: save his son from slavery or save his son's life. Yeah. So like we said, you totally understand why she's pissed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he doesn't.
And he's just coming in like he's just barging in like, I'm going to stop this.
Well, when they leave Teal'c the first time, he doesn't even like drop her a line or anything. He just like, I'm out. You just think he's the lone wolf.
Exactly. Yeah. You have no idea. And then, I was going to flow my hair back there. I got stuck. But another thing too is you think he would know that like because like you said, did they change it from the beginning of the episode? Because you think he would know she's upset because the whole immune system thing. You think he would understand that.
Well, yeah.
So why stop it if he knows he's going to die?
Well, she said, and then she's like, well, he's been sick for a while. So it's like, I don't really
I know. It's a little confusing.
Cause it sounds like he's caught something, but since, they had to move out to the to the camp.
Yeah.
Out of their
The outcasts,
First Prime house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they sound like, okay, he's caught something from that. And then Jack's like, oh, I know, what does he say, scarlet fever or something? So they know, and he gives him some kind of
tea
antibiotic.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing doesn't really
because
fully make sense
just
to me.
here it's explaining
Yeah.
on the little summary here. So you'd think he would know, well, I can't stop it because he'll just die anyways. But then they kind of come and say, well, he's been sick. Yeah, I know. It's just all.
But even at that, like, they don't ever really. It's just not really ever like addressed one way or the other. Like, if he wasn't sick, would he be fine?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But now that he's sick, it's like, oh, now he needs a Goa'uld.
Well, and you kept saying when we were watching it, like, he has the mark on his stomach already.
Yeah, because it's like,
and I thought, well, maybe it was because they just started the.
Well, that's what I was assuming, because they showed the priest doing the thing over him. I'm like, oh, is that when they created the hole for him? And for the Goa'uld to go in, and I'm like, well, but then I was like looking on Reddit on that too, and I'm like, and the people were like, well, I think they're born with that pouch. They always have the pouch.
Yeah.
But then there's another episode where remember there's an episode where Jack becomes a Goa'uld, like a Jaffa for a minute, and he gets a pouch, and then it goes away. They somehow make it go away.
Yeah. I mean, they are like they're like aliens, so they have this whole different, but they don't.
But they're like
it very
genetically
well.
modified humans, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're not like a different alien race,
No, I know, but
anyway,
different planet and all that stuff, that different.
Right, but I think they're people from Earth that they've turned into.
No, I know.
All right, anyway.
I get it.
Okay, all right, yeah. Potato, right?
Here the fight comes.
No fight.
Start arguing.
Whatever.
All right.
We get along swimmingly.
Let's move on.
All right.
Okay. While Teal'c wrestles with that emotional nightmare, Sam and Daniel go on a side quest to steal a larval Goa'uld from a temple. Carter is horrified by the things. Daniel briefly debates. Carter is horrified by the things, the symbiotes, or the Goa'uld. Daniel briefly debates alien genocide and then immediately decides, you know what? Actually, before unloading an entire magazine into a tank full of baby Goa'uld, Daniel Jackson, archaeologist, linguist, occasional war criminal.
Yeah. So that was basically a war crime.
So I
killed a bunch
guess
of babies.
But it says before unloading. It doesn't. So let's save one first because they have to get one.
No, they're basically saying like he kind of like Carter tries to kind of talk him out of, because he's kind of like, all these things are going to like basically enslave a human at some point.
Yeah.
But and she's like, but you can't kill him. Like basically.
Yeah, I know.
That's literally like a war crime.
Yeah. Just, they didn't word it very well here.
Yeah. No, but then he goes, he's like, you know what? Who cares? And he does it anyway. Because he can.
Yeah. And I just love her like trying to pull one out of the thing. She's just like, they've got their little their thermos,
on 3.
And 3, 1, 2, 3.
And then she does.
And then Daniel goes on 4.
Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, on 4.
On 4.
Like she's like, that's great.
Okay, so I like their little like side thing they have going on, their little side mission, like instead of just going right where O'Neill told them to meet, they're like, oh, that looks like a whole chest. It looks like, Indiana Jones chest they're carrying.
Right.
Well,
and it's a good thing they conveniently grabbed that Goa'uld.
Because they needed it.
Yeah. Fortunately, those lab coats in Langley aren't going to get to study this one either.
Yeah, because let's see how much. Okay, yeah, I'll keep going. Okay. In the episode's biggest emotional gut punch, Teal'c ultimately gives his own symbiote to Ryak in order to save his life, fully believing it will kill him within hours. It's one of the first times the show really digs into what being Jaffa actually costs, and it completely reframes Teal'c from stoic alien teammate into a father desperately trying to free his people from generations of indoctrination and biological dependence. Yeah. We're still a little confused about implantation, but he does save him, giving him his symbiote. And then just in time, Daniel and Carter
show
come
up
up with
another
one. Yeah. And they're able to, and it's helping them.
Yeah. You know, apparently it's sacrilege to steal from that particular.
That's sacrilege.
And speaking of that set where they had the baby Goa'ulds.
Oh, I know. I thought we were going to get into that later, but
Okay. Yeah.
I was
gonna.
gonna.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Not so special effects, maybe.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
it could sort of fit in that.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Yeah, it does. I think it does.
So yeah. Okay. All right. Do you want to finish it off right there? I guess did you read the last?
Okay.
Right here, the episode closes.
Okay. The episode closes with SG-1 barely escaping Teal'c after Braytac helps them bluff their way through the Stargate guards before immediately starting a firefight anyway, because subtly was never really this show's strength. Teal'c says goodbye to his son with the promise that one day they'll fight side by side to free the Jaffa from the false gods. And suddenly Stargate isn't just about exploring planets anymore. It's about rebellion, legacy, and the beginning of an actual resistance movement. So yeah, this kind of starts the whole thing with Teal'c.
Yeah. And
kind of partnering with Braytac to help their people, to free their people.
Right. I thought Braytac does a pretty good beatdown.
It was pretty badass.
Yeah. Pretty good beat down on those like guys at the
gate. He like shoots down this ring of fire first and then jumps over it and just beats them up.
Yeah. That's pretty.
And basically like looks out at O'Neill like, how was that for a 132-year-old man?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's kind of a bamf.
Yeah, you know? He is.
So, all right. Okay. So after we get the beat down, they all leave. And the other thing that I was going to actually mention, it was the whole thing where they're taking him back to the gate, Ryak, and then all of a sudden he like wakes up and then Teal'c decides to not take him to the gate, and he drops him off, right?
Well, kinda. Well, because they were taking him to the gate first to get medicine, like to their doctor, to the Dr. Fraser and stuff, because he was sick, and then he was kind of then he stopped breathing.
Oh,
you know, like so that's why they put the symbiote in, and then I think they were kind of running away, and so from. You know, they're trying to get to the gate, but I think it was like, well, now you don't have to come, stay here, and you know,
learn under the tutelage of Master Braytac.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, so yeah, it was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Trivia
goofs.
All right. Do you want to do the first one?
Sure.
Okay.
Introduction of Master Braytac, played by Tony Amendola. He would go on to appear in the total of 26 episodes throughout the series.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. A little less than I thought.
I know. I was actually thinking it was more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Especially for 10 seasons because he shows up so much. But
he's probably in like 3 or 4 seasons though. I mean, when you think about it, there's 10 seasons, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, starting after this one.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he'll end up showing
up. So like
a
few a season.
Yeah. He'll always be there.
Yeah, yeah.
But okay. Yeah. So this is the first episode in which General Hammond addresses Jack O'Neill by his first name.
Huh.
I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch it either.
Yeah. So yeah, there you
Interesting. Okay. This is the first episode in which General Hammond says Godspeed as SG-1 leaves on a mission. Oh, I think he says that.
Yeah, I think that becomes a thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess we could count that, but that would
I think we're good.
Yeah, we got enough.
We got enough to count.
But yeah, he does say it. I do think it is a pretty common saying for him. Okay, the DVD episodes.
Oh my God.
The DVD episodes. So this one is in.
Here we are again.
This was the 11th episode broadcast, but episode 10 in volume 3. So clearly one got shifted at this point, though hopefully, anyway, they'll figure it out. Anyway, yeah. So.
Okay, one more trivia. They tried to use an experimental drug to replace a Jaffa's Goa'uld. This is a concept that isn't further explored for many reasons to come, but the show does eventually get back to this idea much later on.
Oh, yeah. So for many seasons to come. You said reasons, but...
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh,
for many seasons to come. Yeah. So, but they'll get back to it.
yeah, they get back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny you said reasons.
I know. I didn't even notice.
I think you said reasons. Oh, when I hear the playback, I'll,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm sure I said seasons.
maybe we will see. Okay.
Goofs.
Goofs. All right. So when SG-1 is about to leave Teal'c, Daniel takes his glasses off at the advice of Sam. But when General Hammond says Godspeed, Daniel turns around and his glasses are on
And
again.
did I not say that?
Yep, you totally caught it.
I turned to him and said, he still has his glasses on.
yeah. See, you got that one.
And he went, he does? Because of course he was looking down.
Well, I was typing notes.
Okay, let's see. O'Neill sends Carter and Jackson back to guard the gate to lay down cover fire for his return. When they arrived, the gate was already guarded by enemy priests and Jaffa warriors who were still there. Right. Well, that's because they kind of sidetracked, right?
Yeah.
Are we boring you?
No, I'm sorry. I was just reading in to make sure I got the gist. Yeah. Well, yeah, because they went on their little side tangent.
Yeah. So that's not necessarily a goof.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Okay. SG-1 leaves for Teal'c at short notice, but O'Neill, Carter, and Jackson are disguised in priest's robes, right? There is no way they could have obtained them or fabricated copies at such short notice. When they originally brought refugees back in the pilot episode, none of them were priests, so the garments could not have been left at Stargate Command. So,
costume department,
Spirit Halloween,
I guess maybe they already had them made. They're like, we're gonna need these priest costumes ASAP, so let's have them ready.
Yeah. Hey, that's as good of explanation as any. I said Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, Spirit Halloween. That was funny, Eddie.
No, well, I said it again because I didn't get the reaction I wanted out of you. But I mean, come on, where else are you going to get something like
exactly.
that?
They have everything.
So, okay.
Anyway. Okay, last one. The whole mission to Teal'c was to bring Teal'c's wife and son back to Earth. However, once on Teal'c, SG-1 quickly abandoned this idea without an explanation. Well, didn't I just explain it?
Yeah, you kind of did. But I don't know if it's satisfying enough for most people.
It's probably not. There's a lot of kind of things that aren't very explained
in this one.
That aren't explained very well in this one.
No. I think they had a concept of where they were going with it, and they didn't think everything out. Yet. One thing I was going to bring up before we get on to the actually let's do the rest of it. I'll talk about it because this doesn't relate to this episode.
Okay.
So in D count,
I really thought it was going to come on this one.
I actually kind of thought if it's going to start anytime, it's going to be this one.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was like, hey, he could have said it there. He could have said it there.
Very Jaffa heavy.
He could have said it there.
Well, he could say it all the time,
Indeed.
honestly. Yeah.
So 0.
Yeah. But for crying out loud count is also 0. He doesn't say that in this episode either. So we're at a series total of still 11.5.
For crying out loud.
For crying out loud, yeah. Okay, so not so special effects. Let's get into it.
This one was bad. Just the sets. I mean, the special effects, like...
It wasn't so much special effects, it's just sets.
The sets. Like you said, that part where Daniel and Sam are stealing the larval, the Goa'uld.
Where they have like the little thing set up
like this
with the little glass case in the middle.
Yeah.
Totally looked like community theater.
It totally did.
Yeah.
And it was just like out in some weird like rocky area. And then like as like those Goa'uld are walking away, there's like this just one little trail.
Yeah.
With like yellow pebbles.
It totally was like crap that you'd see like in a high school
It was
production.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
And the Goa'uld larva swimming in that little tank looks so fake. It looked like
It's almost
somebody was
like it was-
behind, like with like sticks.
It's probably like, I bet, you know what? It was probably even like rubber snakes with air blowing in it to make them, you know.
I know. That's what I mean.
Move around.
Like the sticks are attached to the.
Oh, you're like,
you know, and like
behind
people
the
are
house and they're
behind or
going
like
this.
moving them.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah. So
yeah,
that
like the
was-
whole thing, even when they come through the Stargate, it's just like kind of just this rocky area, which is fine, but it's just not.
Yeah.
I don't know, for it being like the place of Apophis.
Yeah.
You think there'd be a little bit more grand areas.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So, Chevron rating. What would you rate this?
You go first. I always go first.
Okay. I was actually thinking.
Because then you
might-
go, I think that's what I want. That's what I'm going to say too.
You know, I would go. I'm gonna go with like a 7.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's a good episode, and it's definitely it's higher than just like mediocre. So it's so it's better than half, right? But it's not as good as like the last episode we watched was. I felt better than this, and also I would say it probably would have been a little bit. There was some good elements, but if they had maybe thought out some of the stuff a little bit more, that might have helped.
I think that's I'm going to give it a 6.
A 6. Wow.
Yeah, just because I thought it was good. I laughed at it. I thought it was good, but I think all the confusion of it kind of brings it down a little. And the sets.
And the sets. Yeah, the sets were a little.
It seemed a little weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if I know with these kind of shows,
the characters, they are all good, and they're they were funny, and they introduced Braytac, which was great. So all that was good. But some of the stuff brought it down.
Some of the stuff was brought it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the I wonder too, like if they just had like a really low budget on this episode, because you know how they have so many episodes where they got to have a higher budget. Depending on the episode, the budget must fluctuate a little. And maybe this one was like we
can only like do the bare minimum kind of a thing probably for like the next episode or the one before like they had more that they had to do
more sets or special effects or whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
because even the one before the episode before the 1945, that was kind of a cool little set.
Where Ernest was.
Where Ernest was.
It was
where he was, and also on the 1945.
Oh right.
Year. During in the video.
So that probably cost some more.
Could
money.
Have been. Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can just have this Jaffa stuff happening out in some.
Yeah, we'll just set up
some stuff outside on this dusty trail.
Yeah.
Dusty trail. Good enough.
We'll just make sure. There's some good one-liners. Braytac will give him a good fight scene.
Make sure you can't see the, Burger King in the background. And we're good, kind of a thing. All right. So, okay. So, all right. You want to do the line of the episode?
Yeah. So, line of the episode and the name of the episode. It was said by Colonel Jack. Oh, chipmunk outside. Oh, it's a cute chipmunk.
Where? I don't
see it. Oh, it might have went into its home. It's gone now, unless it ran off. Okay. So, line of the episode by Jack O'Neill is, "Who you calling a hasshak?" Hasshak. But also right after that, because Braytac, he's talking to Braytac, and he goes, "Who you calling a hasshak?" And then he turns his head towards Daniel and Sam and goes, "What's a hasshak?"
Yeah, it's funny.
It was good.
Yeah. All right. So, if you made it this far, thank you. Thank you for watching. Listening.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Like, subscribe.
Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah. Our email is starx@groovydane.com. And one thing this is what I was gonna mention. So, back a few episodes back, the Knox episode, they had the floating city that we talked about, and they said it's in an episode of The Outer Limits.
Right.
So I went back and found that, and I watched the whole episode.
You watched the whole episode.
But I brought you in to see the floating city in that one. And it's cool. It actually looks a little more clear in this one than it did in the in the Stargate episode. But to
Yeah.
me, but the other
It didn't
thing,
look the same to me.
it looked a little like it looked closer up. So maybe some of the detail
Maybe that's
was a
what it
little
was.
more
Yeah.
noticeable. But the one thing that I also noticed that didn't come up in the trivia, they also have an alien creature who looks 99% identical to an Unis in this episode as well. So it's like they took the Unis suit and that floating thing from Stargate, from the Stargate episode, put it in an Outer Limits episode.
Because isn't like the writer or producer or something the same?
Oh yeah, I saw that too. It was
Yeah.
like, I can't remember which one it was though. I don't know if it was Robert Cooper or Bradley Wright or one of those guys.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
One of
It
those
was
guys
something
was
like
involved.
that. And it's like, oh, that makes sense.
I should have had that information ready to go. I forgot it, but I did notice that.
Yeah.
There's definitely some crossover with the production. Anyway, so I just thought I would bring that up because we talked about it and I actually did look for it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was there.
It was there. So yeah. Anyway, well, again, thank you for watching. And next episode is called Fire and Water. And until next week, keep solving for X.
Thanks.